Raising a family, in particular children, is undoubtedly a Herculean task all over the world. In the traditional African way of raising kids, the children have no say as they are subjected to their parents' rules and instructions. The children do not have the freedom to go out without their parent consent, they do not dare talk back at their parents no matter the situation, and they compulsorily do the house chores. The Western way of raising a family, and particularly children, is however totally different from the African traditional setting, as the children tend to have some freedom of expression, movement, and some other peculiarities. With such huge contrasts between the two cultures, we asked our folks which way of raising their children they prefer.
I think a measure of the two. I think that there are certain things traditionally that you cannot change. I believe in beating children. My mom beat me and straightened me. Even the Bible says it. So I believe that is important. But I also believe that some of the traditions too can be done away with. I don't believe in making your children your friends until they get to the age where they're responsible. So I will not subscribe to your friends your children who are minors being your friends. It's a Western thing and I don't subscribe to it. So it's just a measure of the two for me. Well, makes sense, really.
Traditional African way. Because I've seen both and the traditional African way is the best. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. Well, more of the traditional way. I think I like the way I was brought up. Yeah. Not always pampering and, yeah, bring them up very tight.
A blend of both. I think I like my family to be exposed enough, so if they found themselves out of this setting, they'll be able to, mingle and deal. So I think I'll have a blend of both.
I'm African, I'm Nigerian, so I think my children will be raised Nigerian. But of course, you cannot ignore Western influences now. Africa has changed. I think with information technology now, it's one world. So you cannot ignore that your children might be influenced by what they watch on TV. You just have to watch it to make sure they don't get all the bad too. Yeah, but definitely in the Nigerian way.
Well, I think if I have a choice in a traditional way, but at the same time, it has to be an agreement between myself and my husband. We sit down together and know what we want and know how we want to bring up the kids, how we want to do it. Do we want to bring it in the Western way or want to bring it in? So it's not just it's not going to be my choice or what I want. It has to be an agreement between myself, my husband and I. So that's what I think.
African way. Because I can't handle my child being American. I like the African way because I can handle my child when it's being done the African way.
It's best in a traditional way, African way. It's more respectful, and your children, you'll be able to control your family, not in the Western world, that you don't have access on all your family.
It's going to be somewhere in between, a bit of Western and a bit of traditional, because I'm a traditional person. So, like my children, I'm not going to speak English to them. I'm going to beat them. I don't know. There'll be more. They should come first.
You know what? I think a little bit here and there, in between. I like the fact that people from other cultures, Western cultures mostly, are open-minded. Right here in Nigeria, it's good to instill a little discipline in your kids, but be open-minded at the same time. So I think a little bit of 50-50 for me, yeah.
I think a bit of both. A bit of both. So they'll have so when they go elsewhere, they won't have this timid perception when they go out.
From the response of our folks, it's pretty obvious that many prefer the traditional way, or better still the blend of both cultures in raising their children. That brings us to say that no culture is totally terrible or inferior to the other.